How do I market my MVP service? And this is from Karen Singh Webb. Long story short, recently got laid off from my day job. Since I already had some clients from before, I decided to go full-time on my MVP service offering. Everyone really loves my work, but the problem is that my previous clients were all through personal connections, all inbound, and now I'm not really sure how to get more of these clients to sustain my business. I've made some decent money, but not nearly enough to replace my previous salary. What can I realistically do from here? Well, I would say number one is join your networking groups. Yeah. Right? Local networking groups are huge, right? We were just talking about them a few minutes ago before the show started, right? So you have your Chamber of Commerce, right? Always important. They always have good networking groups. Your BNIs, your LaTips, groups like that. Always worth looking into those things, because if you get into the right group, what happens is, even if there's like 20 people in the group, sometimes there's 50 people in the group, sometimes 100. It doesn't matter. You get into the right group, all it takes is you finding 2, 3, 4, 5 people that can help you grow your business because they're in the right, what are called power players or power partners, right? And you find the right people that strategically can help you grow your business because they'll know people in their industry that can use your service. It depends on what your service is. This person doesn't get in specifics about what they offer, but let's just say it's a Salesforce type service, right? It's like a CRM for salespeople, right? So who do you go to? Well, you find people that have a lot of salespeople or have need for a lot of salespeople in these groups, right? And you find those people and you start working with them. It can help you make your product better, give you better advice on what to do with the product, but more importantly, it can get you to people that they work with who undoubtedly have other salespeople, and that can help grow your business as well.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, sometimes it doesn't even take 4 or 5 people. Sometimes it just takes one.
Yeah, it just takes one.
Yeah. I have a friend of mine, and whenever we go golfing, whatever it is, he always pays. Because,
that's why you like him. That's why he's your friend.
Well, he always says it's my commission. So I made a single introduction. I introduced him to one other person.
Yeah.
That introduction led him to having 110 million under management.
Holy cow.
It was one introduction.
Wow.
That snowballed. I mean, he had to work it.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Well, of course. You don't just hear you go.
But that introduction led to him having, I think he says he now has 110 million under management.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So that's why he always pays when we go golfing. And same thing, a couple of years later, I made another introduction, and that led him to taking over the benefits for 26 companies, benefits management. Once again, one introduction.
Right.
He could live just fine just on those 2 introductions. So it's crazy. It's always about, and it's like this guy said, right? All of his clients were personal connections.
Right.
Well, make more connections.
Make more connections. Exactly.
It's math.
That's the best way to grow your business. It really is. Everyone thinks, you got to advertise on TV, this, that. And to a point you do, and somewhat you do, but at the end of the day, it's really all about connections.
But if you're just if you're a small local business, if you're looking to work with local clients, connections are far more important than advertising.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of the time, right?
So let's talk about, let's go down the networking route, okay? So let's say that networking is the avenue you're going to take. Here's the thing people don't realize, and I know you get this because we network all the time. People think that they walk into and let's say there's 70 people in a networking group, right? It's just round number 70, okay? And you walk into it and you go to the meeting and it's high energy and everything's cool. Where's my business? Where's all the money I'm supposed to be making? After one meeting, people do that. They think they're going to walk in and suddenly everyone's going to start calling them and they're waiting by the phone and the phone doesn't ring. And they're like, oh, well, this isn't working for me, right? It can take a year or more before people call you because, well, again, why? Why?
I tell people all the time is any networking you do, is going to take at least a year to develop relationships,
The relationship, exactly.
assuming that you see the people on a regular basis, right? If you go to open networking and you see someone once a quarter for a year, and that's
not it.
No,
that's not gonna work.
No. Can you get lucky and someone happens to be looking for what you're doing at one of these events and ends up calling you? Yeah. But networking isn't advertising. Networking is long-term intent of building relationships with the right people.
So look at it like this, right? So let's say you're an accountant and you're going to one of these groups, right? Chances are almost everybody there already has an accountant, right? That doesn't mean you walk away from the group. What it means is you build those relationships over the next 6, 12, 18 months. Inevitably, someone or multiple people will either their accountant's retiring, they're not working with that person, the accountant made a mistake and they don't want to work with them anymore, right? And now they need a new accountant. Now they know you. Once they get to know you on a personal level, now they're willing to give you a chance.
Yep.
Right?
I use the payroll service all the time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because nobody switches their payroll until something goes wrong.
That's right.
Right? So you want to be there when that happens.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a group I was in. There was a payroll guy. He was in there for 13 months, almost to the date. He left the group after month 13. We got a new payroll guy in the group. The following month, a handful of people had all been with the same payroll company.
Yeah.
That payroll company messed up. The new guy got 6 new clients his first month because he happened to be there.
And that was luck. That was pure luck.
It was pure luck,
Pure
right?
luck.
But I'm like, if that guy had stayed month 14, he would have gotten all 6 clients.
Patience. It's all about patience. This what we talked about earlier. You know, it's just people think that they can just jump into business. They can just jump into networking. They can just jump into anything, and they should see immediate returns.
Yeah.
And if they don't, they're out.
Yeah.
You're never going to succeed that way.
I mean, that's what I do with everything in my life.
Yeah.
Like, I think...
Well, you jump right out?
Everything should be instant gratification. I should be able to order a business in a box on Amazon.
Right. That's right.
And it should be delivered next day.
And it should work tomorrow.
Yes.
And if I have to wait that long, I'm not happy.
I
seriously wonder, has it always been like this, you think?
Yes.
I really want... Well, hold on. It may have to do with technology, right? No, you don't think so? You think it was like this in the 80s?
Amway?
Yeah, what about it?
Same difference. People would jump into these multi-level marketing things thinking...
Get rich quick.
Yeah, correct, right? But that's what it all was. Is not all of it. Let's not knock an entire industry, right?
Yeah.
But most people got into that type of stuff because it was the promise of, this is going to work for you and make you rich. Does it for some people?
Well, that was probably feeding on just the desires of people to do something, or people who didn't know any better. Maybe
it's the same stuff that's happening today.
I think it's worse. I think it's worse today. And I was a kid in the 80s, so I don't remember. But I feel like technology has made it worse for us because everything we get is instant. You want information? You wanted to know something 10 minutes ago on the podcast, and you looked it up, as opposed to having to go to the library or do research.
But it's also selective. Like, does it take you longer to gather information in the 80s than it does now? Yeah, but how many people that see one of those get rich now business in a box type thing actually bother looking up anything about the business, or whether...
Even though it's easier to do.
Correct.
Yeah. They just see a video and say, I want that.
Correct. Back in the day, we would go around and we would ask friends and family, right? Like, have you heard of this? Do you think it's a good idea? Now you can literally look this information up, and the vast majority of the stuff you see out there, there's going to be a Reddit thread that is going to tell you how bad of an idea this is, unless you commit to it. Because I'm a firm believer in, if you get into multi-level marketing, if you get into any type of business, if you get into, you want to pull the bell out?
Oh no.
If you get into franchising.
There it is. There's the word.
If you get into any of these types of business, there's a reason franchisors, for example, don't sign a 1-year contract with a franchisee, right? It's five or 10-year contracts generally.
Because they'll jump out. They'll jump right out.
MLMs. the people that make it in the MLM are the ones that have stuck with it for a long period of time. Because I know people. Actually, I have a remote cousin that is the top 5 of Herbalife.
Okay.
And he's a multimillionaire from building his Herbalife business. I used to have, when I lived in Florida, I met this random guy online. And we had what we called like Thursday coffee.
Yeah.
This was when like Zoom and stuff, video calls, we would actually do it on Skype back then. He started in the MLM industry, was in 3 MLMs, lived in the Caribbean, did all of his work from there, multimillionaire, all from MLM businesses. MLMs would actually come and recruit him to be in the starting phases of it, right? So, but once again, he had built a career doing it.
So, I know where you're going with this, and I look at, like, I see these ads, not ads, but like these videos online, like use flipping houses as an example, right? You'll see these videos all the time. Oh, all you need is a spreadsheet that looks like this, and put these numbers in, and you too could be flipping houses tomorrow. And it doesn't make sense to me because there's so much involved. You can't just walk into a house, buy it, and flip it. There's so much involved.
Do you know what that sounds like to me? It's just come to this building and sit in these classes, and we'll give you this degree.
Right.
And then you'll walk out and you'll have a 6-figure job. Right? Like,
what could you possibly be referencing?
I don't know, right? But to me, that it's the exact same thing. Does it work for everybody? No. Is it a base level education on a topic that, if you have all the other elements, could be part of what builds your success? Absolutely.
It's all experience, though. You got to get the experience. That's
correct.
the thing.
And you don't get that
you don't get that. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, until you go out and do it.
Right. You don't get it in the first 6 months.
Correct.
It takes a while.
There's actually a buddy of mine works for a YouTube creator. I think her name is Noelle.
Okay.
And she teaches people how to do real estate. Like, that's literally, she has an entire master program or like a development program where they train you on how to go through the entire real estate process and how to become a real estate investor. And the program's pretty damn good. Yeah. Like, it's better than most college courses. And it's expensive. I mean, it costs, I don't remember exactly what the number is, but it's not like one of those $99 things. And then they've taken it a step further where they partner with like other people in the industry to help people kind of like navigate how to become investors.
Yep.
It's a brilliant program, right? Is that a get rich quick? No.
No, that's not get rich quick.
Will everybody be able to go through the program and succeed? No. Right? Like, if we look at, let's say, colleges, if you exclude master's and doctor's degrees, if we just do bachelor's, how big of a percentage of people actually end up working in the field they go to college for?
Oh my God! So it's so small.
It's
so small.
It's a ridiculously low number, right? And you would think, well, you just spent, I don't know, $200,000 for 4 years of college to go get a degree in something, and now you're not gonna do it, right? Okay, so you spent $299 on some online program that taught you how to flip real estate. Doesn't mean you're ever going to be able to do it or want to do it.
Right.
But if you don't know, you don't know. Right. So I'm all for, like I said this a while ago, is people no longer pay for information. They pay for structured information.
Yeah. Right. Yes.
That's what you're paying for.
That's a great way to put it. Yes.
So if you have information and you can figure out a way to structure it where it makes sense for someone, almost creating like a step-by-step blueprint, that is worth something to someone. Whether they will be able to do it or not is completely different.
Yeah.
But that's where the value is. And I think that's where a lot of these programs that we're seeing roll out that I say are like borderline scams is, and you're seeing more and more of it now with like the chatbots and AI and all that, is people are going on and having AI develop a program for them that they're now selling as a digital product, right? Like they're selling it as this is a class on how to do it.
Have you any clue? I don't know if you've ever done it, how easy it is to write a whole book with AI.
So do you know what I just did yesterday?
I've done it. It's crazy. It took like 4 hours, and I had an entire 11-chapter book written on it with AI.
So do you know what I did yesterday?
What?
I created myself as a custom GPT.
Oh, you have to explain that one in detail.
So I took all of the writing, my books, my articles, my content, my training programs, everything that I've done. And I didn't realize how much stuff I've actually done until it came time to gather all of it. And I uploaded it all to a custom GPT.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then I had it analyze all the writing.
Yep.
And
so it knew who you were. Yeah.
I basically created a mini-me.
Yeah.
And I am now using it to I am now using it to write content. And half the time, I would not be able to tell you that I didn't write it.
Wow.
Because it is actually using references from things that I had written in the past that I didn't remember that I wrote until I read it again. And I'm like, wait a minute, didn't I? And I go back and look at it and I'm like, oh yeah, this was chapter 3 in my sales mastery program. Like it pulled from there to write this article.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, like I can actually do a lot of this stuff faster. But I can't believe it took me this long to figure out that I could upload all of this stuff and basically create a mini-me. And I'm using it now. I started playing around with it yesterday. I'm going to be playing around with it this afternoon. And I'm going to start like drilling down on things that I know, like I said, to see if I can get it to work around something like that. But it's, oh, dude, I'm so excited about this. You have no idea.
That is pretty cool.
That is really cool.
We'll have to talk more about that offline. I want to hear more about that. All right. Anyway, so back to this. So how do you market your MVP service? That's how you do it, right? Get out there.
Build relationships.
So what's that?
Build relationships.
Yeah, exactly. Go network, build relationships. I wouldn't worry about the actual advertising yet. Start making some money first. Well, like, what do you usually tell your clients? Like, at what threshold do they start turning their revenue into advertising dollars?
I tell people all the time, if whatever amount you are giving to me for the next 6 months, if it's going to impact your life negatively, you are not at a place where you should be spending money on advertising.
Okay, there. So that's the formula then.
That's what I use. Right? Is if you can't afford to lose the money for the first 6 months, you probably shouldn't be spending it on marketing because campaigns can go wrong. Yeah. You could get 0 return for 6 months, right? And then month 7 it takes off, or month 9. But I mean, there's no guarantee that what you will spend your money on will have any type of return. And the lower budget, the less money you're spending, the more primitive your advertising should be.
Yeah, agreed.
Right? Like if you are, and I've brought this up before, there was a company that came to me and said, hey, we want to start doing SEO. And their budget was like, I don't know, $1,100 a month, $1,200 a month. And I'm like, that's a decent budget. And then I went and looked at their industry and I'm like, you're in a highly competitive...
Like jewelry or something like that, right?
Actually, believe it or not, it was power washing.
Oh.
And I was like, this is a highly competitive industry. I'm like, you're better off doing direct mail or door hangers than you are doing SEO.
Yeah.
Because if you need that immediate return, if you go out into a development and you hang 500 door hangers, you're probably going to get a call or 2, right? If you spend that same money on SEO, you're probably not seeing anything.
You're not seeing anything.
So, and
for a while.
For a while, right. And it's funny because we are now on month 9 doing SEO for them after they did the traditional marketing for a year. And then they got to a point where on month 9 at that $1,200 budget, they are just starting to rank now.
Okay.
It took 9 months to get them even onto the first page.
Yeah. People don't get that.
No.
Well, we should do a whole episode on SEO and what a nightmare that is.
There was a report that was released yesterday. They did a 23-month study of 238 million keywords. Yeah. And that is the other part that I will be doing this afternoon, is reading that entire study, because it's fascinating.
It is. It's crazy. And people think it's like, oh yeah, I should show up number 1. No, you're not showing. I don't care how much you have. You're not showing up number 1 that quickly. All right. So good luck to you. Moving on. If you like what you saw in the clips, don't forget to subscribe as well. Let us know what you think by leaving some information in the comments.